Hey guys, it's Naka and Dominic.
What's going on? You know what time it is. Guys, we were on our merry way, and then we sat down and like, you know what? We can't forget our mates.
You guys are going through a lot of things, so you guys really enjoyed our last video. So we thought, we'd sit down and answer you guys' questions or give you advice on things that, maybe we've been through, maybe you've been through, and how we would deal with it or how we dealt with it.
After we posted the last video, we had a lot of DMs, we're like, you know what? Let's do part two. So this is part two. We got we posted again on IG, so if you don't follow us there, because it's quick fire, spit fire. Let's go!
So the first question is, I found out my boyfriend, now ex of 6 years, cheated on me with my cousin. What will you do in that situation?
Huh?
Yeah, her ex, while they were together, her boyfriend cheated on her with her cousin. That's not your cousin anymore. Yeah, like sometimes family members can be so toxic, and I feel like it hurts more on the cousin's part, because your ex, like, he's trash from the beginning, and you probably already knew that. He's probably done other things. No disrespect. No, there is disrespect. Yes, disrespect. Like
sometimes I feel you have different expectations because it's family, right? Sometimes when something happens and it is family, you put them at a different level, right? So sometimes it hits you where it hurts, kind of thing, right? First of all, the way that you put the question, you said now your ex, so
good on you for that.
That was,
you dodged a bullet.
You dodged the bullet. That was the right thing to do, right? So, I mean,
the cousin, you cut her off. She's not even like a cousin. How can you do that? That's so disrespectful for your cousin to lay down with your man, especially. Oh my God.
So I feel like the question, I feel like there's two things, because you're like, what kind of our opinion on it? So obviously there's the opinion on the ex, right? The boyfriend that was the boyfriend, and then there's opinion on the cousin, right? So obviously, see, like, the ex is already cut off, so that's good job. The cousin, I mean, I would just keep my distance.
Yeah.
I would kind of not try to associate, but the thing is,
like,
whatever,
What if she does it again, if she gets a new boyfriend? Because she already did it once.
Well, you keep your distance.
Oh.
So, like, I would keep my distance and, like, be careful or be mindful of what you say around them, because, they could obviously, like, I don't know if she actually went out of her way to hang out with him.
It doesn't matter.
Or it was at a family, if it was a family gathering, or they, she went to DM him, or
she was drunk
after the effect, right? So, like, I would just say, take that into consideration. Like, be careful what you say. Like, even if you have a new boyfriend, maybe don't even mention it around her until, like, you guys are pretty serious and stuff like that. That you just have the social family gatherings.
That means they were
and stuff.
talking.
Well, yeah,
they
right.
Were talking with the cousin. What I'm saying. You don't know, like.
So don't have an introduction or whatever. Just be use the past experiences for future things. Like, learn from that, and just now you know what type of person they are, right? So now you can act accordingly, basically.
Would you cut them off, not talk to them again?
It's hard to cut off a family member because you're gonna see them probably at family gatherings, right? So I don't know how close. You do get some family members you basically never see, and they're just there sometimes at some family gatherings, so it depends. But if she's one that is there at, like, often, it's hard to cut off. You can always just keep your distance. So even at family gatherings, if you have other cousins and stuff, just try to get closer to them and hang out with them instead of, like, the other one, and just don't spark a conversation. Don't
let
engage.
the anger get
exactly.
to you too,
Like, if she's, like, fishing for info, just be very dry, very cut dry. And it's not like if you act like that, it's not like she'd be surprised. I feel like she would expect that, you know what I mean?
People like that would be surprised, like,
That's even more reason to keep your distance. But
if this was me, I would just cut her off.
The boyfriend, he's gone, that's easy. The family member, keep your distance and be mindful of what you say around them.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, next one. I feel like me and my...
I would actually like to know more info about that.
Yeah, story. Me too. Like,
I'm very curious of, like, how it went down.
How it happened.
And stuff like that, but...
There's some stuff I watch on Judge Mathis.
Okay.
All right, next question. Me and my boyfriend, who are engaged, broke up and called off the engagement. It was a mutual decision, but I don't know what's next. I was so used to being with him after 7 years. How do I start over? I feel like I wasted a lot of time on him that I'll never get back. Damn, that's deep. First of all, sorry to hear about the engagement, being called up. One of my high school friend is actually going through the same thing. Like her and her boyfriend were together, like they were high school sweetheart. Everyone, we all thought they were gonna get married. They won most likely to like get married or something like that, have a lot of kids, I forget, but they recently broke up, and they've been together for like literally 10 years, and she regrets it, because sometimes
regrets
like
being with him.
She regrets wasting all that time with him, especially in high school, right? Because now she's pushing 30 and she's like, I never dated, and like he's the only guy she's ever been with, so she doesn't even know how to flirt or anything, because they were so young when they got together in grade 8. So it's like, how is she?
I would never. You can't kind of regret. You can't feel bad about things that happen because it won't do anything. You know, like you can't change the past. So there's no point in dwelling on the past. You know, you like instead of looking at it that way, that you know time was wasted, whatever. You can look at it the way that while you were with them, you grew as a person, you got to know yourself more, and you've learned a lot of things while in that relationship, right? Like everyone makes mistakes, but it's what you do after you make mistakes, if you learn from them or if you just keep repeating the mistakes. So, and now especially too, you know more about yourself, about what you want in a relationship. Obviously it didn't work, you know, with that person, but you were with them for 7 years. So some things did work, right? So now you can implement that in your relationship, be like, okay, this worked, you know, I want this relationship, he didn't have this or whatever, but in my next one I want this. So don't ever look at time wasted. Like what's the difference? Let's say for example you're with one person for 7 years, or you're with 3 people during 7 years. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like you would have just been with more people, but now you only got one.
That's good,
right?
yeah.
So there's a lot of things that you probably went through, a lot of experiences that you can carry on to your next one. Just make sure that you know you're healed, that you know you've moved on, and that you focus on yourself and you develop yourself, and then now you're ready to, you know, offer yourself to someone else, and then they can reciprocate it, right?
Yeah, a lot of people feel like that. They're like, oh, I wasted my time on one person I didn't get to date around. Date around for what? To catch these diseases? It's not worth it. So just be happy you were with that one person. Like date around, it is what it is. Like it's played out. But you know, I would say just now focus on yourself, focus on what you want. You know, you've been in a relationship, maybe now, you know, focus on this is your me time. So focus on you, what you want, find a hobby, and don't even think about being in a relationship. I feel like a lot of people, especially when you've been in a relationship for so long, you're dependent on being in a relationship, right?
Like you became a part of it.
And a lot of people have a tough time being alone.
After.
Because you're so used to having someone. So I would say start being content and happy with being alone, because you've never really been alone.
If you're not happy being alone, you won't be happy with someone, right? And like the thing too, like you're never too young to do something, right? So like to feel like, you know, now you don't have the opportunity to date around, and if you feel like you're too old, don't have the opportunity to like date around and stuff, it's not too late. Like if that's, you feel you missed out, well, you can still do that now. You know what I mean?
100%.
So,
and it's even better now because you're gonna date more mature men, and hopefully.
There's more like technology, so you can use a lot of technology. And like you don't have to put as much time before knowing what you want to do with that person, right? I guess like the pool to fish in is a lot bigger with technology. Before, you know, as high school is really mostly just people
that you know
in high school, in the same high school or same city or whatever. But now that you're older, you can drive around, you know, you can do that, you can use technology, dating websites, all these things, right?
So it's a good thing, sis. Don't worry about it.
Everything in life is a blessing. It just depends how you take it, right? So
that's right, me. All right, next one is, I want to move out of my town, but I'm too scared. How do I get over the fear of the unknown?
Just do it.
Just do it, literally. I used to be like that too. Like I used to live in a small town my whole life, and I hated it. I just hated how everyone knew each other. Like you knew someone, and then you meet someone that knew that person, and then your business would go all around.
Everyone knows.
So it really was like that, and it was everyone was like connected, and people would date each other, and I was like, that's too much. So I just left.
I would say sometimes we feel it's almost like a mental thing, right? Like we're kind of taught and we grow up at the fact that like you plant your roots as a tree and you just grow your tree, right? But the thing people don't understand is that you can move your tree around. Like you can uproot yourself and go to another country, another city, another state, or whatever you want, right? So like if there's something in your life that's not happy, maybe try and make that move, because changing your atmosphere could be a very important step to like finding true happiness, you know, like, and even like the people, when you meet people and stuff like that, and it's just like the whole adventure of it, right, is very fulfilling. It could be like life changing for your happiness, right? So I would say too, if you're scared, sometimes you'll always be scared. Like sometimes the best decisions in life are the ones that are the most scary. You know, like
yeah, like us. Remember, like
yeah.
when me and Dominic first were telling people, yeah, we're going to Mexico, we're moving to Mexico. People that had never been outside of Canada, that live in that little Canadian bubble, they were like, oh my God, Mexico's so dangerous. You're gonna do
never
this.
Went there.
Don't take advice from people that have never done what you're going to do. Like I always say that. Don't take advice, especially from people that don't travel, that have never left the country that they're at. The only base.
You just read stuff online or on the news.
It's like,
right? There's so much to see that people don't realize.
Yeah,
like it's almost like a perspective. I can go into whole detail about like the perspective of other countries. Not for that. Maybe that's a video for like a topic in the video.
Yeah.
But I would say like the best things in life, most of the times, like if you want to do something but you're scared, most of the time that's a good sign, because it's such a big important decision. But
out of your comfort
sometimes
zone.
you have to run towards fear to conquer your fears. And maybe the only thing that can help you not be as fearful is to have a plan. So let's say, for example, you know, about your job, about where you're gonna live and stuff. If you have a plan that, you know, you don't have to worry about stuff, then you won't have the stress. That's going to be a huge stress off of you. And if you don't have the stress, then you can focus on things. And let's say you can sustain yourself without having a job or need of money for like a couple months. At least during those couple months, you can really figure out if you like it. And if there's a worst thing that can happen, you just go back.
Exactly.
You know, but like if you had planned accordingly for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and that's it. You know, like if you plan and you get that fear aspect of your life, then you can actually focus and can see, oh, do I see myself living here? Blah, 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 blah. You know, worst case, what's the worst thing? You just go back, right? So that's the thing.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Just plan accordingly. If you have to, don't tell anyone. Just up and bounce.
Sometimes the people that will rob you the most from your dreams are the people who are close to you, right? When you ask advice from people, it's very swayed or very influenced by how they think.
Yeah, they don't have the same views as you. They don't know why you want to do it, right? And don't hold it against them for them.
Fault,
you know, it's not their fault.
And like, not everyone's the same, right? So you just gotta accept that. I mean, so like if there's any negativity around you, then just distance yourself.
Yeah.
So, but like when you go to another place, you know, technology and stuff, you can stay in contact with people a lot easier than you used to be.
100%, yeah.
So
that was that. Next
That's a good
one.
Like if we really want to go into detail and like how to kind of move and stuff and like how to prepare yourself like financially, mentally, and everything like that, we can't go into more detail of like how we did it, because like that's kind of what we did. Like we uprooted ourselves. We just kind of went different places to see what we liked, and then when we saw what we liked, then we stay here. But we had a whole plan.
Yeah, this didn't happen overnight.
Right?
We've been planning for like 3 years to move outside of Canada. We just needed the perfect place, and we thought Mexico was perfect because it's near our families, you know. I feel like if we were younger, Thailand would have been the place. Like if we weren't planning on like having kids anytime soon, Thailand, like we were talking to Dominic's mom about it, it would have been perfect. But we want somewhere, you know, we are geezers now, and we're planning on like having our baby and stuff, so we want something close to family where they can come and visit us. So
and you always have like plan A, plan B. You know, you can prepare yourself, and you always think like, what if? And then you have things. But yeah, let us know if you like to see that.
All right. Next question: how did you heal from times you were so angry and you didn't want to be near each other?
Heal? What you mean?
Heal?
Heal? I don't have to heal from you.
How did you heal from times? Oh shoot!
I don't have to heal from you.
I don't know. We've never been like that.
How about we answer? How did you get over?
Heal? Yeah. Are you abused, sis? I just got that.
You're so angry you didn't want to be near each other.
What? I don't know. We've never been like that.
Nah,
heal.
No, not
that
really.
means you're saying mean things, right?
Yeah, things were said when you were hurt.
Aww.
So like the first thing that you have to see is that if you're with someone that has tendency to say things that they don't necessarily mean when they're angry, I would say like the first step is when you see that coming to just kind of take a step back and like distance yourself, because a lot of people sometimes when they're angry they just see red and they say like a bunch of things, and you know that, you know, if you talk about later they'll be like, oh, I didn't really mean that, whatever. So like talk to them and like explain, or try to explain to see that for them to realize that when they say things, they don't say. So that way, when you get to a certain point, they'll be like, okay, I'll just stop talking because I don't want to say things that I'll regret. You know, so like, or
no, I'm giggling, mate, because whenever we like argue, Dominic's like a little puppy. He just follows me around, and I'm like,
because I want to resolve it, right? But you know, sometimes if I see that it won't get resolved and there's too much, you know,
he waits 5 minutes.
I was gonna say like not complications, but like
when I'm too mad,
like too much emotions. If there's too much emotion, same thing, and you sometimes you just wait it out, and then like until like everything calms down, and then you have a discussion. Like if you can't in the house, and that's fine. Go for a walk. Go for a walk outside. But we never do that. It never happened to us.
Yeah, us like when we get like in arguments, whatever, we resolve it within like 10 minutes. Just because I don't like that about Dominic. Like he always asks me, are you okay? Like he really like wants to talk about it, and I'm the type of person where I don't want to talk about it. Like well, not anymore, I'm not like that anymore, but I used to be very closed off. Like I just want to
deal it internally.
But Dominic's not like that. He's like, let's talk about it.
When you're with someone, if you deal internally, it stays internally, right? And like you get over it, but you don't really get over it, right? And then like there's a rift in relationships. So it's fine to take time to address it, but I always have one rule is that you can't go to bed angry, right? If there's anything that happened throughout the day, deal with it before you go to bed, because then you're gonna wake up next morning and you'll feel better, and then you just won't talk about it. So I would say like you can go for a walk and then like come back and then like talk about it. But I would say too, like I think for us the main thing is that we can be as angry as we want, but our love for each other supersedes the hate or the anger.
Me giggle. I'm always like, oh my god.
So like I guess like that's how like for us, like anger and the emotions you feel, you know it's temporary, but the love is stronger and the love always lasts. So just I guess try to have that in mind. If you're the type of person who sees red when you're super angry, try and just think of like the reasons you fell in love and stuff like that. But again, just go for a walk, come back, chill. And
me and Dominic are Christian, right? So whenever we get in a fight, we're like, oh my god, the devil. He almost got it. The angry. He's trying to like, you know,
split
like spirit us apart. So we associate that like with like, you know, because we're spiritual and stuff, we associate that with that. So maybe
we're conscious,
and we pray a lot too. So praying, that really helps. And then like if let's say I talk to Dominic a certain way or he talks to me a certain way, I tell him, I'm like, oh, I didn't appreciate how you talk to me like that, and he vice versa, and then we work on that, because a relationship is a partnership. You have to, both parties have to benefit. So if you want him to treat you better, you have to treat him better, vice versa, or it's not gonna work. So that's what I would say.
And just know, like, if you have arguments and whatever, after that everything is good, you still talk about it. Like if you make up, if you talked about it and everything's good, you can still talk about how you both reacted. You know, like after that everything is resolved in the argument or whatever, or you know, the disagreement. I don't like saying like fights, I just say disagreements, you know, or like temporary arguments, right? So like you can say like
fights is like
when you did this, it made me feel a certain type of way, and it hurt me the way you reacted, and then they should be like, okay, well, next time we'll try to do better. It's like you learn as you go, right? So
100%. Last but not least, this is very like sweet, because I've been through this, so this one really hit home for me. I feel like me and my best friend are drifting apart, and it's breaking my heart. So how do I stop it? I want us to go back to how we were, but I feel like she's not the same anymore. This is really sad, because I actually had a best friend when I was in like early high school. We were like this, like it was like 3 of us. Should I say that? Should I be specific? Maybe these bitches watched my video. But anyways, we were 3 best friends, like we did everything together. And then like all of a sudden, like I just saw her changing, me and my friend, and then we just drifted apart. But it honestly was for the better. I'm so happy that we're not friends anymore, because that friendship really helped me see that bitches ain't shit. Like, no, I can't say that. No, but it really opened my, are you gonna keep that? No, it really opened my eyes that I did so much for that friendship, you guys. Like, but it broke me. Sometimes friendship breakups are worse than relationship breakups, because like I was so invested in that friendship. Like they were my best friends. Like literally, we used to talk about we're gonna have kids and our kids are gonna be playing together. Like, you know, when you're in high school, like those emotions, like they were the best friends I've ever had. And then it was like, that was the most heartbreaking friendship breakup I've ever had. And maybe that's why like I don't like to get too close to people, like friendships, until now, because that friendship breakup, it was brutal. And my mom always told me, 3 friends, it never works out. There's always one that gets left out. She used to always tell me that. Yeah. 3 is a crowd. 3 is a crowd.
Sometimes you never know. Like sometimes, you know what they say, like you can be blinded by love, but you can be blinded by friendship too. Like some friendships that you have, you don't even know how toxic they are until you have a good friendship, right? And I think sometimes too is that just have faith that everything happens for a reason. That like if God's taking someone out of your life, there's a reason for it. Like most of the times, maybe that person's holding you back, or like, you know,
she's jealous.
Yeah,
I found out that
toxic negativity.
Yeah, I found out that one of the friends, she was never happy with me and my friend. She always wanted to be friends with with the other popular girl, but she didn't think that we were popular enough, we weren't enough, and she started to change. She started to be like the other people. And then the other friend that I was friends with, because when she left us, the other one wasn't happy with us. She wanted to be more friends with that girl, so she left. And then I found myself like I didn't want to go with that crowd and fit in, because like what they were doing didn't align with what I wanted to do. I didn't want to start, you know, like go to parties, getting drunk, all these things, but that's what they were into. And I knew myself and I stuck to my grounds, and you know, I had no friends, but I was happy doing my own thing. And me losing those friends, it made me be content and happy with being alone, like, because I spent a lot of my time in high school by myself, and that's why now I love being by myself. I go shopping by myself all the time. Like, I do things by myself. I go eat by myself. I'm content and I'm so happy with my own presence. And not everyone, there's a lot of people that can't do that. Yeah. And so I'm grateful for that falling out and me not having friends in high school, because it made me and shaped me into the person that I am today, that I don't need validation from other people, because I was seeking it so much at that specific time of my life, that now I'm like, I'm good, I'm great. Like,
and the thing too is that especially throughout high school, even college and stuff like that, the friends you have, a lot of people change, right? From high school to college, university, whatever, we're not the same. Like, you grow as a person, right? Everyone changes. And don't hold anything against anyone. Like, if your friendship starts to drift apart and you don't think they're putting, you know, the effort to keep their, like, the friendship alive or whatever, then like that's okay. Like, you can kind of see that and don't give more than you receive, right? It's the same as like a relationship. Like, you don't give more than you receive. It should be equal. It's like a partnership, right? And what you gotta realize is that after, you know, if it does end up not working out, don't hold, you know, hate, or like hold like, oh, you know, I wish it was like it was before, like stuff like that. Because like, you grow as a person, life changes, you move on, and you get new experiences, you meet new people, and you look forward in life. You don't look back, because you can't go back.
Yeah, when
like, if you hold something in you,
listen to him.
It only hurts yourself, right?
100%.
If they moved on, they didn't think about you. So
guys, I used to hold so much anger towards them. Oh my god.
I spoke to you when I said it.
It was deep, because Dominic, I was angry that they weren't my friends. And sometimes I'm not perfect. I was a toxic friend too, you know. I used to, like, I was messy, but when they didn't want to be friends with me and when we were friends, I was so hurt and I was so angry at them. I would have dreams about us being friends, and then like dreams about like my friendship with them, and like it really consumed me for so long, and I wanted to like reach out to them and stuff like that, but I have a big ego, guys. It didn't let me, and we drifted apart. And now I think I talked to one of them like a couple years ago, and we're so different now that I was just like, we have nothing in common anymore. You grow,
and sometimes your friends in school, you're friends with them because you're almost forced to.
100%.
Because they're in your school, right? But you know that if you would have met them on the street or at an event or something, you wouldn't vibe. It's just because you're together all day and you don't have that much other people that you didn't vibe with, right?
My high school teacher told us that.
Yeah, exactly.
She said that, you know, this teacher was messy. She shattered me.
The dream.
She was just like, she's like, look at your best friend. You guys are probably not even gonna be best friends after this. You know, after high school, there's people that swear up and down best friends for life.
It's true.
Once you graduate, you never talk to each other again.
It's not always true, but it is true often.
That's and me and my best friend after high school.
Sometimes, yeah.
It's true, man.
All my friends in high school, I barely talked to any of them.
Yeah.
I had one of my boys that he didn't really even go to my school, and we're still boys. So like, what does that tell you? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm still friends with like one of my friends. She's an Aries like me. She's born a day before me, and we talk like once every year. And we see each other once every 2 years, but it's the type of friendship that we don't need to talk all the time.
That's the best.
But but when we talk,
it's the same as it always was.
It's like the vibes are still there. She's my best friend. But other than that, I don't talk to anyone I went to school with except for my girl. But other than that,
and like when you grow older, you're at a point in your life you have to make a decision. If you kind of put yourself first, to put yourself in a position later on of what you want, you know, like if you strive to achieve success and you strive to achieve things, you have ambition and drive and motivation. If you hang out with people holding you back, you won't get there. So like there's an expression like it's lonely at the top. It's not lonely at the top. It's because people don't choose to put in what you put in to get to the top.
So you let them go.
So if people don't make you a better person,
why are you friends with them?
You can't drag them around all the time, right? And like if you made the moves to get to the top, it like to to be a certain place and have success, ambition, and you have drive, motivation, you want to start a business by yourself, and your friends or your people around
always
you
complaining,
they don't want to follow you and put in the work or like build something together, then it's their choice as to why they're not with you.
Yeah.
Right?
And if you're in high school, this is hard because high school you want friends.
That's also like my point. Like sometimes, in high school and stuff like that, like, you have a test the next day, you have to study to get tests, is very important, something like that, but then you have your friends like, oh, it's okay, let's just go, chill, Netflix and chill, do movies, or like, party or drink or whatever. I didn't really study for tests. So I was just saying, like, in general, you can sit in the movies,
I literally had no friends.
Or in college and stuff like that, I'm just saying, like, basically, when you're trying to do something, or if you want to go to the gym, and you're on a strict diet, but then you go out with friends and they make you eat, like, junk food, but they don't support that you're on a diet, Instead of being like, oh, wait, you shouldn't have that, you're on a diet, you have a competition or whatever, tomorrow they'll be like, yeah, you can have the wings, it's just one time. Yeah. You can have the ice cream, you can have this, right? But they need to be, you need to be with people.
Fitness, huh?
You need to be with people who support your goal. Yeah, because that's what I went through all the time, right?
Yeah.
At work, it was like, I could go through that for so long.
No, but for real.
The point, and stuff like that, like they want to smoke, they want to drink, whatever, and just like chill, not do anything. But like you want to do your things, right? So like sometimes
don't
you need
change
to
yourself.
Step away from the pack and that you form your own pack, kind of thing.
I always say, I wish I was this me in high school.
Me too,
I would be the queen. They'd put crowns on me, jewels on me, because I'm that bitch. Like, I used to be so insecure in high school. Like, I was so, like, I couldn't even be myself.
So much people are. It's kind of sad because it's like, when you're older, you look back, those are the things you're like, wow, like, why did I even care about this? Like, why did I care what the person said that, like, I don't even know? Or, like, why did I try to impress someone I don't even know? It's
but one thing that I liked about myself, if I didn't like you, I'm gonna eat by myself. If your vibes are off, I'm gonna chill by myself. I spent freaking a whole semester in the library reading books by myself. Like, I'm not even joking. And that's it, man. We can go into that another time.
Long topics, guys.
That was it. Like, any high schoolers, maybe we'll do a high school edition.
That was so different.
Me too. School. Like, if you knew me in high school, I apologize. Well.
Anyways, guys, thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.
Smash like button. Talk to you soon.
Toodaloo.